This is our most recent single called Dissent. Yes.
Sweet. We good to go, Jay?
Tobin.
Cool. And welcome back to another week of In the Fridge. We are here with Primacy.
Yes.
How does it feel to be the most space-conscious band we've had in here so far?
I feel pretty proud of us.
Yeah?
Feels intimate.
Nice, we're used to it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, how about we start things off with a bit of a background check. Any warrants?
No,
just kidding.
I work in a school. I've passed police checks, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I've had to do that as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So how about you just tell us about how you guys got started, how you all met, things like that.
Back out of the picture.
All right. Well, myself, Will, and Adrian used to play in Overhaul. Also, Jared was our drummer at some point, so we all knew each other. And then our previous band, Overhaul, fell through. So we started again. And at the meantime, Jason's old band, Heathen Eyes, also fell through, so he's available. And he auditioned, and just
it's a collection of failed musicians, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So how long have you
This
been
is
functioning?
take two.
How long have you been functioning in this formation? 3 years?
About 3 years.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
started about August 2014, I think, when the lineup was complete.
Yeah. And then Steve left and Jared came in.
Yeah, so we had Steve Kelly was our rhythm guitarist initially, and then he left, and Jared replaced him early, late 2015.
Yeah.
So
Just before our EP, EP was done.
So
Has the sound sort of developed since you kicked off? Like, did it sort of shift a little bit, or?
oh, absolutely.
It was a bit more, when I came in, it was a bit more metal, like metal, I think. And then we kind of got a bit more, like, people started listening to more different stuff. And then you came in with more proggy and alternative influences as well. Like,
Yeah, I guess from the La Dispute shirt and stuff like that.
Yep. But we all have, similar tastes, but varied tastes within that.
That's right.
It
thing,
was like a Venn diagram. Like there's a very small area in the middle that we all sort of really enjoy, and then and there's stuff that we all hate, sort of going around like a big flower.
Well, like when we're driving with you on road trips down to Wellington, and there's these mixed discs of like disco and weird shit in there.
Disco and death metal.
Yeah, disco and death metal. Probably some Hootie in there as well. And
Carpenters is a big influence.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Love Carpenters.
he's a big Karen Carpenter fan. He sings almost as well as her, and is obviously good drummer like Karen Carpenter as well.
Just not as skinny.
I paid close attention to how she died, so I've been making sure I
Stay on top of it.
this is my longevity right here.
Yeah.
Down
What do you have to say in the way of influences? What sort of bands do you look to sort of inspire the sound that you have?
But then I have to say Alice in Chains for me. If we said it personally,
Every interview.
But when I approach the vocal takes, I always like go for the harmonies. That's where I kind of come in. And then some of the riffs are in the same vein of tempo and everything like that, big and thick and sludgy at times. I don't know. But then again, with other metal bands, Opeth and Opeth and Faith No More are my favorite. My two vocalists, Michael Luckenfeld and Mike Patton, would be my.
Yeah.
My
It was like just as you guys came in, I was listening to the Dead Cross record, his new hardcore band and stuff.
Okay,
super into that.
Cool.
We don't really listen to other bands to get influences on our sound. Like Adrian pretty much writes all of the riffs, and then I sort of cut them up and turn them into songs. So and then everything goes from those riffs. So I think we may all have influences lurking in the background.
Yeah.
But
how we approach things or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I like a whole different, sort of like a whole variety of drummers.
You don't listen to a band and think, I'm going to write a Priest song.
I listen to his riff and think, well, what's the most appropriate drum beat for that? And then Sid will choose the bass, and then like Jared will choose guitar that kind of complements it. So it's all based around sort of Adrian's riff. So it means that we sort of get our own sound.
Is that the sort of standard songwriting process? It's sort of all starts from the riffs and
it's just.
I live out of town as well.
That's what lots of us and go around to Will's and give them the chaotic mess.
Yep.
And it used to be the case of I used to give them like 7 or 8 minutes worth of riffs, and they cut it down to 4 or 5. Now I tend to be writing shorter ones, and he seems to be extending them. But I mean, I
depends on the riff.
I was schooled on Metallica and Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and all that stuff, but you're probably hard pressed to tell a lot of it in there.
There's definitely some Zeppelin influences in there sometimes.
A bit of Zeppelin there, but where my riffs come from, I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually early.
It's just sort of that amalgamation of all the different influences just sort of in the back of your mind.
Yeah. I've been told I've got a quirky way of playing. I was in another band many years ago, and the other guitarist left, so I ended up having to play his bits at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's become kind of a bit of what I do now, and so Jared's got to find a space.
Yeah, I have a hard time.
Yeah, how do you find
parts.
that the juggling between or sort of dividing out the parts? Do you find it quite easy, or is it a bit?
It's
difficult?
not really a matter of dividing the parts. It's more that Adrian writes full guitar parts, and I've got to try and find the little holes and spaces in between to fill them out with something.
Yeah.
And every song is completely different.
Yeah.
It's almost it's almost like he writes the riffs and the fills and just everything complete. Like sounds like two guitars sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to write songs with gaps in them. I'm still learning that. We've got a real counterpoint. We've got
definitely. There's space between what both of you do. I think onto my favourite bit now, as a guitarist, is nerding out on pedals and gear in general. What do you guys go for with your overall setup?
I like fairly simple. I've gone for lots of pedals. I don't use much. I've got a digital delay, Holy Grail reverb because this thing doesn't have one.
Yeah.
And micro amp, just a clean boost. It's real transparent. Doesn't colour the sound. It just lifts it up.
Yeah.
And a little micro wah, which I use occasionally.
Oh wow.
It's a cool thing. Yeah, so it all flips out. So it extends out another inch either end. A cool thing. But yeah, I'm pretty simple.
And you just run in distortion straight out of the amp? Or?
Yep. No gain pedals. I don't particularly like them.
Yep.
Myself.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's pretty simple. This thing here, which is another boost pedal, which I only just put back on my board today, which does the same thing, but it adds gain and a bit of thickness. I haven't found a place for it yet, although I did actually unleash it in one of those songs and towards the end, and I don't know how it's going to...
We'll see how it comes through.
Yeah.
So, and what about on the bass end of things?
I use the T21 Sounds amp pretty much 99% or 100% of the time. I've also got an overdrive which I occasionally use when Adrian does his solo bits, and so I'm trying to fatten the sound a little bit. I've got a chorus and a flanger for just some ambient and quiet, not so busy parts, if necessary. mostly the Sounds amp. That's what I use.
And then the rhythm guitar as well.
Yeah, I'm sort of the complete opposite to Adrian in terms of tone. I swapped to the AC30 just recently from a Black Star amp, so it's quite different. I'm running a tube screamer and a blues driver, depending on the song.
Classic setup.
Yeah, classics. I've got this Joyo American thing, which is like a Fender amp sim. I found that does quite a nice, like, low, fuzzy kind of sound when it's needed, so... Got that there. Then there's the DD7 delay and the Polar reverb, which is nice and lush.
Yeah,
some in between bits.
I'm gonna get one of them.
And then guitar-wise, this is probably my main one I'm using at the moment, which has the P90s, so it's a bit different again.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
So yeah, it's very different, but it seems to gel quite well. It's like a puzzle or something between the frequencies, and they just kind of mesh together quite nicely.
Now I'm all about equality. So you've got a kick pedal. You got two kick pedals.
I do have a kick pedal.
Double bass drum.
I use Tama. What are they? Speed Cobras, which are reasonably fast. But
I've actually
quite
we
sturdy
have
pedal.
a Speed Cobra in the back, which I stole off of my old drummer, who just hasn't come to claim it. So
It's yours now.
It's mine.
That's the way it works.
So if you're listening,
If you're watching this video,
it's gone.
I lost it. Yeah.
Yes, I tend to play Sabian cymbals. I quite like Sabians, and most of my cymbals are hand hammered.
and cracked.
They're not cracked. This one's cracked now. I've just found a crack in it. But yeah, I realised the other day that I tend to play a lot of dark cymbals.
That splash really cut through on some of those songs. I really dug the sound on that.
That's the cheapest cymbal I own. It cost me $60, and it's a chain from China. I don't normally use cheap cymbals, but it is a bell cymbal.
Yeah. It has a real bell-like tone.
It's virtually indestructible.
Don't do it, man. So it doesn't
really matter if I break it. It's only $60.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a cheesy
Yeah.
cowbell.
Sweet. And I suppose as far as vocals, we've already sort of talked about your influences and stuff like that. How long have you been singing for?
The first time someone said I could sing was probably in primary school. I've been singing in bands since I was 15.
Yeah.
So that's 18 years. But I'm pretty direct with my influences. Like, I'll listen to these songs, and if it reminds me of any band in particular, I'll go and listen and think of ways to approach it, basically, because I need ideas sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I used to watch like Stone Temple Pilots footage with Scott Weiland using the
megaphone
and stuff. And then we started using lo-fi effects on the recordings on my voice, and I couldn't afford a $400 TCL Electronics.
You get that nice
thing,
you get that nice mid cut from using a
and so the recordings already had it on
telephone
them anyway, so I figured, and it might add some visual aesthetic or something like that. So
How much was it?
$35.
Man.
And you know what? It's so loud it would blow up a PA system. 15 watts.
There it is.
One of the most interesting sort of ways of doing that I saw was it actually one of Mike Patton's bands was Tomahawk.
Yeah.
He had the
gas mask.
Yeah, the gas mask with the transducer mounted in it,
it's
and
wicked.
he did the God Hates a Coward.
That's
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're right there, man.
I love the tone on that. I definitely going back to the Dead Cross thing. I recommend that. It's him and Lombardo doing doing hardcore.
Oh, cool.
So,
Okay, I'll have to check that out. This is the next one called Failure and Sacrifice. Exactly. Man, that's some deep shit. Sometimes Sid gets a little solo.
Thank you. We've been Primacy. Cheers for having us.
Cool. So on to the final part of the interview. What gigs have you guys got coming up, and whereabouts can people find information online?
When's this going to be released so we know not to outdate ourselves?
I think at the latest, probably, what do you think, next week? Can I get a thumbs up?
Next week?
Week after.
In
2 weeks.
Okay, so there's no point in advertising
No.
our upcoming gig, because that's next week.
We just did down the rabbit hole. About a week ago.
So that was really, that was a
And
great
we're
gig.
doing
Is there a supercut coming out of Down the Rabbit Hole again? Like a video?
I didn't see anybody filming video. There were lots of photos taken, but no video. I think it was the last one they were doing, so I don't think they bothered because they didn't need to promote
Another one, yeah.
But you were doing the Brutalities Bash in New Plymouth in a couple of weeks as well, which will be pretty fun.
Yeah.
And apparently we're playing at a
Never played
tattoo
New
festival
Plymouth
next year. But that's
Is that the one in Tobin or the one in New Plymouth?
Yeah, Tauranga.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so he's booked us for that, but I mean, it's a while away, so shit happens sometimes and gigs fall through.
Yeah.
But I mean, a couple coming up, and then my partner's giving birth, so I have a couple months
for a little
off.
while.
And his partner's just given birth as well, so yeah.
Busy.
Oh, we're still writing songs. I mean, we've got a bunch of new material coming up. Plus, we've got a single we'll put out in a 2 or 3 weeks' time, hopefully.
Also, Deadly Fingers.
So we keep the background action happening, even if we're not so busy on the stage.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot again for you guys coming in. Yeah.
Thanks.
There's also another
really
single
great
coming out soon as well.
Oh,
so
sweet.
there is new singles coming out. We're just finishing them
Yeah.
at the moment, just getting the mixes done and all that. But
more sort of sort of a recording buzz at the moment, more than a gigging buzz. So we
And
do
you
have
guys
a few
mainly-
gigs lined up, but mostly recording stuff.
Sweet. And do you guys operate mainly out of Bandcamp or?
we're on all the things now. We had a label, they folded, so but we just everything's still up on Bandcamp, Spotify,
iTunes,
YouTube,
iTunes,
SoundCloud.
just a standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that all linked through just the Primacy Facebook page?
Yeah.
Or?
Yes.
Sweet. So people can
Primacy
find it through
NZ
there.
is
Yep.
Primacy NZ, or is it Primacy Band NZ?
I believe it's Primacy NZ, but
Yeah.
who knows? Reasonably easy to find. Just type in Primacy on it, pretty much everything.
Awesome.
There. And then
Yes.
Well, yeah, thanks again for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
That's us for this week.
Cheers.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.